my sister, she's just a big hater. She's a hater.
Okay, ma'am, what do you know about this?
Well, I caught my sister cheating on Mr. Scandalous while he was incarcerated.
A family. You have how many other children together?
We have 4 kids, counting Cara.
4
No, you have
kids,
3
including
kids.
her.
No,
including,
she is done.
No,
so
you have
shush.
3.
Yeah, I got
her.
4 kids, Your Honor.
No, you have 3.
And Mr. Dallas,
I'm lying.
I'm listening.
All right, that was the second time. You see what I'm saying? When we got back,
That was not
she
the
was
second
already
time.
2 months pregnant then, y'all.
That was not the second time.
Well, how you gonna have a full baby, a 7-pound baby that's in 6 months?
Can you even handle this level of craziness? Miss Wandick launches a lawsuit against Mr. Stampley for a whopping $79.40 over some baby clothes he gifted, and then, in a spectacular display of pettiness, snatched back during a dramatic meltdown. But wait, there's a cherry on top. She's also demanding paternity test results to slap him with undeniable proof that he's the daddy of her sassy 15-month-old mini-me. Meanwhile, Mr. Stampley is firing back, demanding repayment for a lavish baby shower he threw under the cloud of paternity doubt. And trust me, you're not ready for the soap opera that's about to unfold.
You are suing the defendant for $79.40 for baby clothing you claim the defendant gave you for his child, then took it back in a fit of rage and dumped it in a neighbor's driveway.
Yes, Your Honor.
The plot thickens, and it's juicy. Dive deeper into the baby clothes battlefield. Miss Wandick spills the tea that Mr. Stampley, in a fit of what can only be described as a fashion fury, flung the outfits into a bewildered neighbor's yard during a spat. She's adamant those threads were meant for the baby, not her, marking Exhibit A in her quest for justice. Brace yourselves. The next revelation will have your jaw on the floor.
Brought over baby clothes to my sister's house, and we had got into an argument, and then he threw all the baby clothes to the neighbor's house. And why would he do that when he bought the clothes for the baby? Not me, but for the baby. So, Your Honor, that's why I'm suing.
And so, Mr. Stampley, at that point, you believe the baby was yours, right?
No.
You bought the clothes?
Oh, yes, Your Honor, but I had a little bit of doubt.
But you bought the clothes
But
anyway?
I did.
It's getting spicy, folks. Mr. Stampley cops to purchasing the tiny garments, but is plagued by baby daddy doubts, leading to the great baby wear scatter of 2023. This outrageous act was his clapback to Miss Wandick's bold claim of his non-daddiness. The plot twists are just getting started, people.
We was actually arguing. She wanted to chase me down the street, want to pull on my clothes, want to act a fool out in the public, and then she want to tell me, oh, well, this is not your baby. So yeah, I made it rain.
Your Honor.
It was onesies on the roof, it was onesies across the street, it was onesies everywhere.
Once she told you the baby wasn't yours, you got very angry and you took the clothes and just threw them.
Everywhere.
Oh, it's heating up to a boil now. We then pivot to the saga of the baby shower Mr. Stampley threw to the tune of $410, a party he now regrets, feeling bamboozled by Miss Wandick into celebrating a paternity that's now in question. Miss Wandick, on her end, pleads innocence in the manipulation charges, but you're definitely not ready for the bombshell about to drop.
You said you put on for Ms. Wandick, you thought she was carrying your child?
Yes, Your Honor.
You paid $410 for a baby shower.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that the baby shower?
Yes, ma'am.
And so at this point, did you have doubts that the child was yours?
No, not at this point.
You didn't. You say she duped you. You don't look duped right there.
Well,
Thank you, Your Honor.
I feel I was suckered and sweet talked into this baby shower.
In what
because
way?
She told me she has other kids. She told me that she has never had a baby shower.
Just when you thought this couldn't morph into a bigger circus, we delve into the roller coaster ride that is the couple's love story, which started off as casually as ordering a pizza on a Friday night, then got real serious, real fast, despite Mr. Stampley's vacation in the clink and Miss Wandick's not-so-little confession of playing the field in his absence. The drama level is about to skyrocket.
So I need to understand first, how did you get together?
I was walking by, he was selling his DVDs. He stopped and talked to me. We exchanged numbers, we went on a date, and then from that point on, Your Honor, we was together every day until the day that he went to jail.
And so in your opinion, you all were in a relationship?
We was in a relationship, Your Honor.
I mean, it turned into a relationship, Your Honor, but my intentions at first was not for her to be my baby's mother, be my girlfriend, to be none of that. She was on my line.
Strap in, because this roller coaster is off the rails. The core of the maze is the baby and the swirling tornado of paternity doubts. Miss Wandick insists she was already baking the bun in the oven before Mr. Stampley's jail holiday, while he's side-eyeing the timeline, given her adventurous stint while he was behind bars. What unfolds next is nothing short of a telenovela twist.
When you found out you were pregnant, what did you say?
I told him that I was pregnant. I said, Mr. Stampley,
I went away.
I'm pregnant.
I went away for 30 days, Your Honor. I went to jail. Me and her was together for a short time, and then I went away to jail 30 days.
Okay, Your Honor, but But before he went away, I was pregnant, Your Honor.
And so when he went away, you were already pregnant.
Yes, Your
But
Honor.
Mr. Stampley, you believe she could have gotten pregnant while you were away.
This is the moment everything pivots, when Mr. Stampley brings in the ultimate wild card, Miss Wandick's sister, to the stand, who drops the bombshell of having seen Miss Wandick's little escapades firsthand. This nuclear testimony blasts open the paternity Pandora's box, sparking an inferno of courtroom drama. But the emotional roller coaster has just left the station.
Ms. Baker, thank you for joining us today. And your relationship with the defendant is?
I'm her sister.
Oh, you're the plaintiff's sister.
Yes, ma'am.
But you are the defendant's witness.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, my sister, she's just a big hater. She's a hater.
Okay, ma'am, what do you know about this?
Well, I caught my sister cheating on Mr. Stampley
Scandalous.
while he was incarcerated.
Mr. Stampley pours out his heart about his bond with little Naima, facing his nightmare of potentially not being her bio dad. It's a soul-stripping reveal that showcases the tangled web of emotions and stakes hanging in the balance with those paternity test results. Brace for the emotional tsunami.
Oh, very much so.
You have?
Very much so. Me
Tell me.
and her bond, we do everything together. Call me daddy. Look at that little girl right there.
No.
She looks just like you.
No, man.
Yes, she do. Look at the head, look at the eyes, look at those ears.
Yeah, because I know at the end of the day that baby's not gonna have me no more. I'm not finna stick around. I'm not finna stick around like that. I don't move like that, Your Honor. That's all. I mean, that's all she know is me. That's all she know.
You would walk out on this little girl?
I don't want to, but I need to know. I need to know something.
The tension could cut through steel. The climax hits like a hurricane, with the paternity test results revealing.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Stampley, you are her father. Your fears and your doubts have been put to rest.
Yes, Your Honor.
The episode kicks off with Ms. Stewart swinging into the arena, claiming Mr. Anderson is the prodigal dad of her son, Christopher, who entered the world 27 years ago. She brands Mr. Anderson as the champion of dodging responsibilities, a title he rebuffs faster than a cat dodges water, setting the stage for a paternity showdown of epic proportions. Buckle up, because Mr. Anderson's comeback is something out of a telenovela.
You say a 6-month relationship with Mr. Anderson 27 years ago resulted in the birth of your son, Christopher. You say Mr. Anderson is a deadbeat who's been running from his responsibilities, and you intend to prove paternity today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Mr. Anderson fires back, painting Ms. I. Stewart as a fleeting love interest with a less than stellar reputation on a quest for child support riches, uncertain of her child's paternity. His words throw gasoline on the already blazing fire, adding layers of intrigue and whispers of past escapades. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Stay tuned for the next episode.
You say Miss Stewart was a promiscuous two-night stand who is obsessed with child support money and has no idea who her child's father is. You say there is no way you are her son's father.
As the drama escalates, Mincing Stewart is on a mission to prove a Mr. Anderson's paternity, armed with determination and legal documents. Mr. Anderson, on the other hand, is all about evasive maneuvers, leading to a clash of narratives that would make soap opera writers envious. The emotional roller coaster is just leaving the station, folks.
I'm here to prove that Tony Anderson is a deadbeat father.
I object, Your Honor.
Okay.
I object.
I've been going back and forth to court to try to establish paternity
That's a lie, Your Honor.
because he is Chris' father and it's time for him to man up.
What was the nature of your relationship with Mr. Anderson?
We dated for 6 months, Your Honor.
She's a lie.
You say it wasn't 6 months, Mr. Anderson?
No, ma'am.
The moment of truth, or is it? A verbal tug of war erupts over the nature of their past liaisons, with Mr. Anderson insisting it was nothing more than a brief cameo, while Ms. Stewart is convinced they were practically an item. The plot thickens as we dive into a sea of he said, she said, leaving us wondering who's spinning the best yarn. Brace yourselves for the bombshell that's about to drop.
When we first came, she came to my house, she was looking at me like I was a pork chop. You know what I'm saying? So
You wasn't tasty.
Look. And very
Because
much
you
thought
only
so.
cook beans and rice food.
What up? I count on one hand how many times I ever seen her in my whole life.
That's a
You
lie,
say you
Judge.
dated for 6 months.
6 months. I met
That's
this
a lie.
fool
That's
in
a lie.
February of '91.
That's a lie.
Twists and turns abound as Mr. Anderson unveils a calendar so detailed it challenges the very fabric of time, casting doubt on his role in the parental plot. This pivotal moment turns the case into a clash of timelines, with Ms. Stewart standing her ground amidst a flurry of accusations and counter-accusations. The narrative takes a hairpin turn here, folks. Keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times.
You
So-
say the weekend where you had the two-night stand was Labor Day weekend.
Yes, ma'am. She came in the van, her and her friends. They took us to the beach, and we had sex in the van. That was the second time. I'm lying.
I'm listening.
All right, that was the second time. You see what I'm saying? When we got back,
That was not
she
the
was
second
already
time.
2 months pregnant then, y'all.
That was not the second time.
The plot thickens even more if that's possible as we delve into the aftermath of young Christopher's entrance into the world. Mr. Anderson insists he wasn't the absentee father Ms. Stewart paints him to be, yet her stories of his ghosting paint a very different picture. The suspense is killing us, and there's still more to come.
You find out you're pregnant.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you tell Mr. Anderson?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
And what does he say?
I'm tripping.
Okay.
Who the daddy?
And then obviously he wasn't a part of the birth
No, ma'am, he
process.
wasn't.
He wasn't there when Christopher was born.
No.
2 days old, I came over there with some diapers. And that's the picture right there. He was 2 days old on that picture, so
Chris
we
was
at the
not
house.
2 days
Yes,
old,
he-
2.5 to 3 weeks old on that picture.
And then there's the matter of money, with Ms. Oy Stewart throwing down bank statements like they're gauntlets, accusing Mr. Anderson of being tighter than a jar lid when it comes to child support. Mr. Anderson, however, sees himself as a victim of red tape in a world where proving paternity is harder than solving a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. The drama intensifies, with no end in sight.
I received a letter in the mail from the Texas Attorney General. They've been compensating money from him. It's a debt for over $20-some thousand that he owed. I got the paperwork right here.
Let me see
You trying
this
to run for
paperwork.
God? Just like you
what
ran
you mean?
for fatherhood.
You've been running for
you wanna
DNA
run-
tests the whole life.
It
the
would
whole
make
time.
sense.
So what you presented to the court is evidence that Mr. Anderson
Cue the violins, folks, as Christopher steps into the spotlight, his story tugging at heartstrings and possibly winning him an Oscar for Best Supporting Son. His tales of sporadic father-son moments and the emotional whirlwind of growing up in a legal tug-of-war add a human touch to the courtroom drama. The climax looms on the horizon, and it's bound to be a doozy.
How many times have you seen Mr. Anderson in your life?
In the 26 years, 4 months, and 2 weeks of my life, this is the third time I've seen this
In your life?
in my life. Once when I was 7, once when I was 21, and today.
That's right.
I was 7 years old. My mom sent me out to stay with him for a week of Christmas.
But he didn't stay with me, he stayed with my mom.
I stayed with you too, one night. Christmas night, Christmas Eve. You bought me a coat and you bought me a Hot Wheels car set.
Just when you think you've reached the peak of Drama Mountain, the DNA results swoop in like a plot twist in a season finale.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Anderson, you are the father.
Thank you, Judge.
You are the father, Mr. Anderson. That's your son.
So, we're thrown into the deep end with Mr. Butterfield dramatically summoning his ex-flame, the one and only Miss Bracknell, to court. The bone of contention? He's adamant he's the father of her daughter, Kara, and he's not taking no for an answer. He's convinced Miss Bracknell's playing keep away with Kara because she fears her family will crumble like a cookie in milk. And folks, strap in, because this roller coaster is just leaving the station.
Mr. Butterfield, you've summoned your ex-girlfriend, Ms. Bracknell, to paternity court to prove that you are the father of her 2-month-old daughter, Kara. You say she's denying you are Kara's dad because she's worried her family will be torn apart when the results prove you are the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Bracknell, you say there's no way Mr. Butterfield is your child's father.
As the plot simmers to a boil, Mr. Butterfield spills the beans on his saga with Ms. Bracknell. He reminisces about their dreams of baby making, dropping a bombshell that Kara might just be the parting gift Ms. Bracknell hinted at amidst their teary breakup. Feeling like he missed the VIP backstage pass to Kara's grand entrance into the world, he accuses Ms. Bracknell of playing a high-stakes game of hide-and-seek with their daughter. The drama escalates, and trust me, you'll need popcorn for what's coming.
Okay, so you live together.
Yes, we did.
And you were in a relationship.
Yes, Your Honor. She had told me when we were breaking up, she said, "Thank you for the gift." And I said, "What gift was that?"
And it wasn't till later that you found out she was pregnant.
That is correct. You're right.
And then when you found that out, you thought to yourself, was that the gift? That's what you thought.
Yes, sir.
When she said thank you for the gift, you said, oh, that's what she was talking about.
Yes, Your Honor.
As the plot thickens into a rich, suspenseful stew, Ms. Bracknell throws a curveball, countering Mr. Butterfield's tale with a plot twist of her own. She discovered her bun in the oven 3 months post-Butterfield era and claims Mr. Dallas, her knight in shining armor and fiancé, is the real daddy. The plot thickens as she points out the unmistakable Dallas family nose on Kara's face, along with other familial trademarks. Brace yourselves, the story's twist could outdo a pretzel.
When did you find out you were pregnant?
Honestly, I didn't find out until I'd say 3 months after I did move out of his house, because
You were
I was having irregular periods, so I just let it go for a minute. I'm not really a doctor person. I don't
So you
keep
didn't go
up
to the
doctor
doctors for
visits.
how long?
Expect the unexpected as Mr. Dallas steps up with a calendar of all things to debunk Mr. Butterfield's claims. According to him, the math doesn't add up, and he's the rightful father based on Kara's grand debut timeline. Mr. Butterfield, not one to back down, insists on a plot twist, claiming their love saga had a few more episodes post-breakup. The saga's next chapter promises to drop jaws and pop eyes.
August, her and Jesse split up. September,
Together, moved
We
in.
were
So this calendar outlines
August
the
when
dates
Mr. Butterfield split up
when the relationship with Mr. Butterfield and Ms. Bracknell ended.
in the middle of
You say Cara was conceived in mid-September and she was born in June. So you're saying if we count back, there's no way Mr. Butterfield is Cara's biological father.
Diving into an emotional whirlpool, the courtroom becomes a stage for the complex web of relationships at play. Amidst legal battle lines, Mr. Dallas and Ms. Bracknell share a moment of unity over their brood, with Mr. Dallas declaring his love for Kara, DNA be damned. And just when you think it's time to dry your eyes, the story takes another swerve.
A family. You have how many other children together?
We have 4 kids counting Cara.
4?
No, you have
kids,
3
including
kids.
Cara.
No,
including,
she is done.
No,
so
you have
shush.
3.
Yeah, I got
Her.
4 kids, Your Honor.
No, you have 3.
got
And
my little
Mr.
girl, Cara,
Dallas,
and I
have
got
you
money.
ever considered how you would react if, in fact, Cara is not your biological child?
She's gonna be my little daughter. I'm gonna raise her my life.
She is
I'm gonna
not-
raise her.
she's
I'll raise her.
Nothing's going to be changed.
Nothing's gonna change. I love her to
At
death,
all.
just like I do now. Before today, I love her the same.
Just when you think you've got the plot pegged, bam!
It has been determined by this court. Cara's biological father is Mr. Butterfield.
What did I tell you?
It's fake.
What did I tell you?
It's fake.
Served.
You're not getting a watch.
So you were correct, Mr. Butterfield.
I just want to see her.
You ain't.
Mr. Kidd drops a bombshell, claiming Ms. Rawlings played him like a vintage violin, convincing him he was the VIP father to her son, Nathaniel, only to switch tunes faster than a DJ when a more appealing candidate stepped into the picture. Both he and his emotionally charged mother are on the brink, claiming Ms. Rawlings' roller coaster of decisions has thrown their family into a saga of emotional whirlwinds. Mr. Kidd stands his ground, fists clenched with paternal determination, despite Ms. Rawlings tossing denials like confetti at a parade. Hold on to your seats, because what comes next is straight out of a telenovela.
Mr. Kidd, you say Ms. Rawlings is a manipulative user who convinced you that you were the father of her son, Nathaniel, then changed her mind when someone better came along. You and your mother say Ms. Rawlings' mind games have wreaked emotional havoc on your family, and you are 100% positive you are her son's father.
Diving deeper than a submarine into drama, we unwrap the chaotic love story of Mr. Kidd and Ms. Rawlings, a tale so entangled it could give soap operas a run for their money. As Ms. Rawlings lays out her narrative, it's clear this isn't just a love triangle, it's a love octagon. Amidst the backdrop of a star-crossed lovers montage, she explains the whirlwind romances that led to Nathaniel's conception, placing everyone in a state of who's the daddy limbo that's more confusing than a plot twist in a mystery novel. Brace yourself, because the emotional roller coaster is about to hit a loop-de-loop.
When this first started off, she came to me and told me that he was mine. She was sending me letters when I was gone.
And so you were away when she found out she was pregnant?
I was away about a month after. I went away a month after she found out she was pregnant.
Okay. And did you tell him it was his child, Ms. Rawlings?
No, Your Honor. Okay. How it happened was we met through a mutual friend, and I didn't know anything about Mr. Kidd. Starting off, my mutual friend ended up leaving, and the situation that I was in, I didn't have anywhere to go.
As the emotional thermostat hits tropical storm, Miss Jenkins, the matriarch with a heart of gold and a detective's intuition, steps into the spotlight. With the conviction of a seasoned Broadway actress, she narrates her discovery of Nathaniel, claiming a family resemblance so strong it could only be destiny's design. Recalling her first encounter with Nathaniel, she paints a picture so heartfelt it could make onions cry, convinced beyond a shadow of a doubt of the boy's rightful place in their family album. But just when you think you're getting the hang of this emotional tango, a new dancer steps onto the floor.
I got a phone call from my daughter, and she said, "Mom, you need to look at this picture." Sent me a picture of the baby. I was like, "Who got my son's baby picture?" She said, "That's not your son." I said, "Yes, that is." And I was like, "What? Hold on. No, why am I just now hearing about this?" So I contacted his friend who gave me Miss Rawlings' number. I called her and asked, we talked for a couple weeks, and I asked if I could see the baby. And she said yes. He was in a car or a stroller, and I said hey to her. I said, "But you know what I'm here for," and I went straight to the baby.
As we wade deeper into this mystery, Ms. Rawlings brings into play play the other contender for the title of Dad of the Year, throwing a curveball that makes the previous twist look like child's play. This new player, equipped with a dad bod and a hopeful heart, believes he might be the architect of Nathaniel's genes, adding a new layer of intrigue to this already convoluted paternity puzzle. His entry into the saga doesn't just thicken the plot, it turns it into a veritable stew of possibilities. The story is about to take a scientific swerve that'll make your head spin.
Yes, he did, because he was the one that actually told me to get a test to see if I was pregnant. And me and him were sick together. He actually reached back out to me because he had some other situations going on, looking at pictures, and he questioned it again. He was like, are you sure the other guy is your child's father? Because he looks like me. And going through pictures, Dad, even his brothers said, yeah, he has our nose. He looks like
the other guy thinks Nathaniel looks like him too.
Yes, and he favors his daughter.
Just when you thought the plot couldn't be more tangled, enter Dr. Jamila Gator, the expert with a PhD in clearing things up. Her testimony about Mr. Kid's medical history throws a wrench into the works, challenging Ms. Rawlings' previously bulletproof arguments with the grace of a courtroom drama heroine. This revelation isn't just a game changer, it's a narrative nuclear bomb, dismantling assumptions and setting the stage for an epic showdown of genetic truths. Strap in, because we're about to land at the most climactic reveal this side of reality TV.
Well, the court wanted to get down to the bottom of this particular situation in our assessment of it. So we've called upon one of our experts, Dr. Jamila Gator. Jerome, will you please escort Dr. Gator into the courtroom?
Go up to the...
Hi, Dr. Gator. Hi. Thank you so much for joining us.
The climax explodes in a spectacle of emotion as the paternity results are finally revealed.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Kidd, you are the father. You are the father.
Thank you.